Okay. We have with us a few guests. Shortly, we'll be asking them to briefly introduce themselves. We also have a fairly new member, Toastmaster Limoon, with us. And we also have a new member, Ghazain Khan. Is this your first meeting? Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's my name. That's my first meeting. I've been introduced by Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid, and he's a very good friend of mine. Uh, he asked me to come along, just have an introduction with the club members and all Toastmasters. So here I am, sir. If you like to, find more about me. Just a brief discussion that I not represent, but had an experience in corporate governance society, and I've worked in that industry for the past like 10 years. And apart from that, joined this club. I'm married with two children, my family, father, other siblings, located in Karachi. So that's my brief introduction.
Thank you. Welcome to KTC family.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We have with us guest Masood Nunari.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Please briefly introduce yourself. Although you have given us a little bit background a few minutes ago, so we have.
Sir, this is my first time with all of you. So first of all, I am saying hello to all of you and assalamu alaikum. My name is Masood Aman Nunari. I am from District Kashmir. I hope all of you have heard about the District Kashmir, which is mostly famous for kidnapping. So if you pass to 10 to 5 times from Kashmir, almost you will be kidnapped almost 2 to 3 times. So I belong to that district. I have done my bachelor degree in electrical engineering from Qaidam University, and after that I have done master's degree from NED University Karachi. Currently I am working as a deputy manager in K Electric. I have almost 4 years in current job. So now I'm willing to improve my communication skill. For that, I have to start my business and some career goals. So that purpose, I have think to join some clubs and a proper setup where I can learn a lot of things. So I think this is good platform, and hopefully I will gain my requirement. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We are glad to have you with us today. And we have one of our former members, Nouralan Qureshi. Are you available, Nouralan?
Assalamu sir, yes, I am ready.
Yeah. Would you like to say a few words about who you are? If I remember correctly from your speeches, you are in the banking industry. Is that correct?
No, sir, I am money exchange.
Money
I am
exchange,
not
okay.
in the financial sector. I am.
Okay. We are glad that you have joined us once again. Glad to have you.
Thank you, sir. Inshallah, I will deliver in the next session of my speech.
Okay, we look forward to it. Since we have a few guests, I would like to say that this is the 100-year anniversary of Toastmasters International. The first club started on 22nd of October 1924 at the YMCA in Santa Ana, California. Past few years, the headquarters from California was moved to Colorado. The purpose of starting Toastmasters was to allow businessmen to improve their public speaking skills. And at the present time, there are more than 14,700 clubs around the world. In fact, clubs are in 144 countries. The mission of a Toastmaster club, including Karachi Toastmasters Club, is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every individual member has the opportunity to develop oral communication skills and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence and personal growth. Toastmaster Imran, are there any guests at Beach Luxury?
No, there aren't.
Okay, thank you. We have with us Nadra Saeed. If you're available, would you like to introduce yourself briefly?
Yes, alaikum everyone. So Taha motivated me to join. Thanks to Tala. Sorry. We've been on the Zoom for too long. So I've been a banker all my life, most of my life, professionally, and currently I'm working with BICG as head of corporate sector development. And very interested to know what Toastmasters is all about, because Talha has motivated me to find out more about it and to join.
Thank you. We are glad that you joined us. And
I would have loved to actually come in person, but today wasn't possible. But inshallah, next week.
Thank you. And thank you to Mr. Toastmaster for inviting you and being responsible for many individuals who have joined us. They have mentioned that they are here in the meeting because of distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid. He lives and breathes Toastmasters. We also have with us Abdul Rahman. Would you like to say a few words? At this time, I'm going to introduce to you our Toastmaster for the day, DTM Talha. I assume you are filling in the role of Toastmaster. That's correct.
Yeah.
Toastmaster of the day is very similar to a master of ceremony that leads the meeting, controls the meeting. DTM Talha is a distinguished Toastmaster. He has already achieved several DTMs, I think about 5 or 6. He's a past district director of District 122 in Pakistan. He is also a past president of Karachi Toastmasters Club. He's currently the public relations manager of District 122. He is vice president of education, responsible for organizing the meeting and preparing the agenda, not only for Karachi Toastmasters Club, but he's also the VP Education in 2 other advanced clubs. Please help me welcome a very dedicated Toastmaster and a very good friend, distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid.
We see you. What happened? We cannot see you when you're standing on the page.
I'm not with it.
Why? This camera.
Wait. Obviously, because Imran's camera needs to be turned on and it's connected to that. Just a second. Yeah. Thank you so much, DTM Sarfraz, for that generous introduction. And I say that quite often that in Toastmasters, there's a very strong tradition around introductions, where we provide our own introduction to the host, and the host then makes that introduction, and then we say, "Oh my God, thanks for that generous introduction." But let me assure everyone, though it may sound otherwise, but my introduction was not provided by myself to DTM Sarfraz. It's his generosity and kindness. Thank you so much, sir. Today, our theme of the day is lessons learned. And originally, Toastmaster Maria Mahtab Kidwai was to be the Toastmaster of the day. And when I asked her what would be the theme, she came up with this theme. And of course, if you have heard for her for any amount of time, you would know that this is the theme she would most likely come up with, because she always focuses on lessons learned from life in all of her speeches. So sometimes doesn't it feel that there is a time for learning and there's a time for playing? When we were kids, we used to have that distinction between the work time and play time. When we came home from school, we were relaxed. We would have fun and games till the next one. What happened? Yeah. So we have fun and games till the next morning. And when there was summer vacation, or in my case, winter vacation in Quetta, it was 1.5 or 2 months of fun and frolic and relaxation. And then we used to think that back in the back of our minds, that when the vacations were nearing, we used to think that the vacation time will be forever. It will stretch forever. We won't ever have to go back to school. And especially now when we take vacations from office, that feeling doubles, because after school vacations at one time, you do want to go back to school, don't you? But sadly, at least in my case, in case of office vacations, that does not happen. And one of my very good friends, who is present here today, shared a quotation. And that quotation said that vacation is often misconstrued as a time when you re-energize yourself for your work. In reality, what you realize during vacation is how much you actually hate your work, how much you'd like to get away from it and never return back. So again, different perspective of life, and again, based on our own experiences. And today we will be sharing our respective experiences, because what else is Toastmasters but a repository of experiences? We speak the best and we express the best when we are recounting our own experiences rather than regurgitating someone else's thoughts. So without further ado, we move on to the agenda. And for newcomers, it will be helpful if you can keep the agenda in front of you, the new Toastmasters. We will have 3 segments: prepared speeches. The prepared speeches are speeches prepared through Toastmasters curriculum. Once you get membership, you get enrolled, you get access to the Toastmasters curriculum, you get access to the study materials, and those study materials help you prepare your projects. But that is not the only thing helping you. You will be assigned a mentor, and that mentor will also assist you in preparing your projects. So the first portion is the prepared speeches, which are pathway speeches. Then we will have table topics, potentially the most fun, at least for the table topics master. And that segment actually is all about extempore speeches, where you are called to the stage and asked to speak for at least 1 minute on a subject. And finally, we will have journal evaluation, which encompasses the reviews, the evaluations of the speeches, as well as the feedback on the extempore speeches and other aspects of the meeting. So one new member was wondering what a grammarian was. You will pretty soon learn during the grammarians and during the GE session what a grammarian does and what they are. So introducing the role players for today, we have our grammarian and word master, Toastmaster Rapatanvi. Would you like to come to the stage? And if you have thought of a word of the day, most welcome to share.
We take the lesson learned.
Yeah.
Today, the theme of the meeting is lesson learned, and the word of the day is
We can announce.
In the meantime, we can explain the grammarian.
We can't hear you.
Yeah.
voice of someone. As a grammarian, my role is to find out bad use of
So I've turned off microphone on the.
The camera advertises this.
Oh, the microphone is okay.
So don't you think when the speaker will say it won't show
The
this?
microphone is right there. So let's divide the connections. Because you know the connectivity.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
As a grammarian, my role is to find out the good use of English during the speeches and during proceeding and good use of English. And at the end of the meeting, I will submit my report to the general evaluator. I will also remind
Yes.
that the word of the day may be used during speeches and during proceeding. And at the end of meeting, I will submit my report to that effect. Over to this.
What is the word of the day?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
It will be announced shortly.
Yeah. And when you think of word of the day, you just message to me, I'll announce. Next, we have our timer Toastmaster Muhammad Iqbal. Please explain your role.
Assalamualaikum. Today I am performing the role of timer. Time is very important in Toastmaster meeting. There are 3 segments. One, prepared speech. Prepared speakers are for different allotted times. I will record according to their presentation. For table topic, minimum qualified time is 1 minute and maximum is 2. 2 minutes 30 seconds, I will have the red card. And for evaluation segment, minimum qualified time is 2 minutes and maximum is 3 and 30 seconds. And the completion of my at the near the completion of this meeting, I will report to the general evaluator.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Simon. And our next role is our counter, and today our counter is Toastmaster Lateef Mansoor. Please explain your role, Toastmaster Lateef. And let me also add that Toastmaster Lateef is our current international speech champion. We all know what we have to do. Where is Lateef? There he is. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone, fellow guests. My role as an counter is to monitor or to listen carefully the mostly unwanted use of ahs and ums. For example, when we are speaking and we say repeatedly, as you know, what I mean, for example, long pauses, such filler words or crutch words. I will be giving my report once asked by the evaluator at the general evaluation session. But please maintain the least numbers of ahs and ums. Try to be more watchful so that my report is reduced to the minimum. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Talal bin Hamid.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Lateef Mansoor. And everyone, if you are compelled to say distinguished Toastmaster every time you address me, then the meeting time will exceed. So please refrain. Next, we have our listener, Toastmaster Hiba Rais Khan. Toastmaster Hiba. Toastmaster Hiba, are you there?
Yes, I am. Okay,
All
fellow
right.
Toastmasters and guests, as the listener, I would be taking note of all the interesting words and phrases spoken by the speaker during the prepared speeches and the table topic session, as well as the entire session. And at the end of the session, the audience will have to guess who spoke what. And that's about it.
All right. Thank you so much. And that provides us a nice segue into the joke master role, which is also commanded by Toastmaster Hibari Khan. So over to you, Toastmaster Hibari.
Okay, fellow Toastmasters and guests, as usual, I come up with quite interesting jokes. Why did the poodle buy a clock? Why did the poodle buy a clock?
To keep time.
Something like that. It wanted to be a watchdog. Why did the tailor get fired? Why did the tailor get fired? He wasn't a good fit. A sweater I bought was picking up static electricity. A sweater I bought was picking up static electricity, so I returned it to the store. They gave me another one free of charge. Okay. I was offered a construction job in Egypt this morning. I was offered a construction job in Egypt this morning. Turned out to be a pyramid scheme. And the last one, why do dragons sleep during the day? Why do dragons sleep during the day?
Their fire is doused by the water.
So they can fight knights. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you so much. And an appeal to our online participants, of which there are 13 or 14. Today, we had a conference, online conference at PICG. More than 900 people registered for it. More than 1,800 turned up, and more than 2,100 had their screens on. So please turn on your screens on. And if you want to know the veracity of my claims, you're free to join that conference tomorrow. With that said, now we move on to the prepared speeches. Toastmaster Rafat, have you thought of the word of the day?
So futile for
Futile. All right.
If we won't learn from the lesson, all our exercise will be futile.
Great. So word of the day is futile. Futile means resulting in a failure or meaningless. And if I were to use it in a sentence, it would be that, okay, the presence of 4 physical participants in KTC today means that all my appeals of physical participation were what? Futile. Thank you so much. And let's open with our first prepared speech. Someone who joins us from, this time he's in Quetta, I believe, but he manages to join us from a different place every time. Toastmaster Mohammed Asghar. Oh, he joined us from Gavander, apparently.
Oh, can someone read my objectives of my speech? Number 1. Number 2, I need to be allowed for slide.
Yeah, sure. So, of course, your evaluator will read your objective. Toastmaster Latif Mansoori, please introduce Toastmaster Asghar Sqal.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. It is my honor to evaluate such a vibrant, eloquent speaker, Toastmaster Mohammed Asghar. And I am very much lucky enough that he never participates in the contest. Otherwise, I feel like he would have not given anyone a chance to come a little step forward also. He would have taken all the trophies. Now, this was just a small introduction, no pressure on him, but this is what he is. Toastmaster Mohammed Asghar is embarking on leadership development project, which is is level 5, and he's going to explain us about his high performance leadership project, which is the second speech. In his first speech, normally for the new Toastmasters, he just introduced the panel of people or the planning of how the event will happen. And today, in this second speech, his project statement are: the purpose of this project is for the member to apply his or her leadership and planning knowledge to develop a project plan, organize a guidance committee, and implement the plan with the help of the team. The purpose of the second speech is for the member to share some aspect of his or her experience completing the project. So there are some notes for the evaluator, which I will be focusing on. That, as he mentioned in his speech, timer, please note, speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. Toastmaster Mohammed Asghar, speech title, The Story of a Book Fair. The Story of a Book Fair, Toastmaster Mohammed Asghar. Good luck.
Thank you. Is my slide visible?
Your screen is visible.
It is visible, but it has some files in it. We are unable to see the actual presentation by Toastmaster Mohammed Asghar.
You need to click it.
Yes, there it is.
Is it visible now?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it visible and moving?
Yes.
Thank you.
Can we see? Can we see if you move to the second screen? Just. Yeah.
Yes, it's
okay.
Working.
Mr. President, dear Toastmaster and guest, if they planning of any project is far easier than implementing it, because you plan it on the screen of your laptop in the comfort of your boardroom while slurping your coffee. Executing it on ground, however, is a different ball game. The three-day literature and book festival in Gwadar city truly tested my mettle. It started from our anticipated anxieties, where the objectives could be met as it envisioned at planning level. For example, would the committee take time to work as all members had promised? Would our guests from the outside fulfill their commitment to made to Gwadar? Would our sponsor keep their promise regarding financial support? In short, we were stuck in a step in the back myth. But finally, clock ticked, D-Day reached. Now, like every event, it began with the inauguration session. Nominated guests with chief guest reached on stage as per schedule. Like every event, we were selective with regard to the chief guest. Or truth be told, we decided to be gold digger. We targeted people with an eye on their money, power, and influence. Now, like every event, this cocktail also worked here. To our surprise, many public intellectuals of national level, from politics, science, and literature, participated our festival, panel discussions, and individual speeches, and thus hugely contributed in the success of this 3-day festival. Now, the most important thing, what was TM Asghar's doing? I had more than one role or more than one cap to wear. The most important role I played was being a dignified member of an august gathering, the audience. This role was learning, enjoyable, and relaxing. Yes, some other time I was also a moderator in couple of panel discussion where I applied my techniques, skills, and knowledge of a moderator, what I had learned from my pathway project. Believe it. Well, I also made frequent visits to bookstalls almost every day in all 3 days to persuade people in power to purchase book and then donate them to us. Another sign of being a gold digger. This is basically the committee. Frequent meetings and gatherings were held and we collaborated with each other to see if the things are moving in the right directions and to take corrective measures where required.
He disconnected, right? I think so. Let's wait for a few seconds. His connection was perfectly fine though. No. I was just hearing the sound. So anyhow, let's wait for a few seconds. Meanwhile, welcome to all our guests. Our speaker has suffered a disconnection. Hopefully they will be back. We will wait for a minute more. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next speaker. Okay, everyone, I think we should move on to the new next project. DTM Sarfraz sir, are you ready with your project? The speech duration of Asif's speech was 4 minutes. All right, so DTM Sarfraz has already started sharing the screen. I believe he's ready. All right, so everyone, it is my honor and privilege to evaluate DTM Sarfraz's project today. And it is all about managing a webinar. It will be, it is part of the just a second. Everybody can see. Yeah. So as part of this project, DTM Sarfraz will be leading a webinar. The project duration is 20 to 25 minutes. This project is, the purpose of this project is for the member to practice facilitating an online meeting or leading a webinar. During the completion of this project, the member spent a great deal of time organizing and preparing to facilitate an online meeting or webinar. In order to complete this evaluation, you must attend the webinar or online meeting. The member will deliver a well-organized meeting or webinar depending on the type. the member may facilitate a discussion between others or disseminate information to attendees at the session. The members should use excellent facilitation and public speaking skills. Perhaps that part is the easiest for DTM Surprise. So I believe, and this is one of the first at Karachi Toastmasters Club, everybody has done this project, managing online meetings, but I doubt whether anyone has ever done the webinar aspect of this project. So we'll be witnessing it for the first time. The title of the project is in keeping with the theme of the meeting, as always. So DTM Surprise, lessons from life, finding reason at work. I'm sure I butchered that. Lesson from life, finding reason at work, DTM Surprise. (20 to 25). Over to you, DTM Surprise.
DTM Talha, is the slide visible?
Yes, it is visible, and so are you.
Okay, thank you. I'll begin. Based on the lessons I've learned through life, I want to share with you why people fail to set goals, or if they do set goals, why they do not achieve. And then I'll tell you what, in my opinion, is the correct way to establish your goals. Not only goals, but priorities. And how you can then achieve what your aim and objective is. No goals, no glory. Some people don't even set goals. Why? Because fear of failure. They're afraid they will not be able to achieve those goals. Or they do not set goals because they have no clarity. They're not sure what they want or what they want to accomplish. And then, of course, there are obstacles. They do not have the courage to overcome those obstacles. They said it's better not to have any goals. But when a new year starts, many people do set goals, or some of them call resolutions. But it's interesting that today is 24th day of the new year. 1/3 of people who set resolutions have already given them up. Some have not even started working on their goals. And by this summer, many will be looking for excuses why they were not able to fulfill their objectives or achieve their goals. Some of the reasons people give for not accomplishing the goals: health issues. A person gets sick, it's obvious they may not have time to work on their goals. Family obligations may keep them from fulfilling their goals. Or they may be overworked. Too much work, overload, bosses asking them to do things. Or they may have financial problems, which may keep them from working on their goals. And then, of course, there are external forces and factors, the challenges they may face, and they give up on their goals. Or global, something happens worldwide, and people get involved in that and forget their goals. In my personal opinion, one of the reasons why people fail by the end of the year to say that, yes, I accomplished most of my goals, is they do not construct their goals in the proper fashion. What happens if you build a house without its foundation? It will not stand too long. First, you have to lay down the foundation. Then you construct the rest of the structure. Because if there's no foundation, the house will tumble. And I'm going to go over what I believe are the 9 steps to setting your mission, your goals, your priorities, so that each year you can say, this was my best year, and the best is yet to come. First step is vision. What happens at the start of the year? We take a notepad and we start writing our goals. Hey, I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to save some money. I want to travel. I want to join Toastmasters. I want to complete one pathway. I want to compete and win a speech contest. But before you do that, you have to have a vision. Vision describes your future. Where do you want to end up? Some people, vision is career focused. Some people may have a family oriented vision or educational vision. Here are some vision statements. Most companies have vision statements. For example, Microsoft's vision is, our vision is to help people and businesses throughout the world realize their full potential. Habib Bank says their vision is to enable people to advance with confidence and success. Here's mine. Live life to the fullest, make a difference, and leave a legacy. Your vision gives you direction, but then once you have vision, your next step is a mission. How you're going to go about accomplishing your vision. The mission and vision have to work together. And here are some examples. Mission of Microsoft: to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. Vision of Habib Bank: to make our customers prosper, our staff excel, and create value for our shareholders. Here's mine: help individuals realize their dreams and reach the pinnacle of their success, and help organizations improve their performance, productivity, and profitability. And once you have determined what your vision and mission is, you have to define what are your core values. What are the values that will drive you? What are the values that you live by? The values that you will not let anything interfere with. For example, if ethics is your value, you're not going to engage in an activity that's unethical. If someone asks you to rob a bank, you're going to say, no, that is against my core value. Sometimes bosses do tell people, hey, cheat a little on their proposal preparation or the actual cost. Don't show the actual cost. And if your values don't align with what the boss is asking you, say no. Some of the core values that people come up with are integrity, respect, compassion, family, responsibility, balance. So if we don't know what our core values are, it's difficult to march down the road to success, because the value will guide us. And my action, is it in line with my value? If not, then I should not be doing it. And here's mine: REAPS, R-E-A-P-S, respect, excellence, achievement, pride, success. Respect, treat everyone with dignity and respect. You may have heard the golden rule: treat everyone as you like to be treated. The problem is, with this golden rule, not everyone wants to be treated like we want to be treated. So some guru came up with the platinum rule: treat everyone as they wish to be treated. Sounds better, but the problem is sometimes people don't know how they wish to be treated. So I came up with my own rule: treat everyone as if this is the last time you'll see them. Will it make a difference how you treat them if you knew you may never see this person again? Because you never know when it may be the last time you'll see that person, when it may be the last time you see your loved one, your family member, or your close friend. And then we say, oh, I wish I had done this. I wish I had not said. I know an accountant, a young accountant. She was giving a speech, and she said she had some fallout with her father. She got mad at him and decided not to see him. Years passed by until she found out that he was in the hospital. And she was debating, should I go see him or no? She was still mad at him for whatever he had done. Finally, she decided, maybe it's time I should go see him. When she arrived at the hospital, she learned that he had just passed away. And when she mentioned this, tears were rolling down her cheeks. So treat everyone as if it's the last time you'll see them. Excellence, no matter what you do, I call it quite excelling. Commit to excellence in everything. If you are going to be the Toastmaster today, you have to work at it. You have to prepare for it. At work, I've noticed some people, if they were working on a project where the eyes of the brass, top brass was on it, executives, board of directors were going to be involved, they put in hard work. But if it's something that they were working with co-workers, no one cares about it, they say, I'm not too interested. No. Even the janitor's job, the person who cleans the offices, is important, because if he or she does not do a good job, we'll all be up into our knees in trash. Achievement. Focus on trying to achieve something and then feel pride about it, that you have done something worthwhile. You have made a difference in your own life or in the life of someone else. And enjoy success. Reaps. That's what drives me. Then people focus on goals. I call them priorities. What is your priority? What is important to you? What's close to your heart? Focus on your priorities rather than individual goals. And here are examples. Some people say life balance. You look at your work, education, health, different things, and then select some of them as goals for the year. I think it's better just to focus on 3 main priorities. Here's an example: faith, family, financials. And then you may dedicate equal time to all 3, or you may divide up 30% for faith, 50% family, 20% financial, where you will put emphasis. And then once you have defined your main priorities, you can have sub-priorities. For example, in the faith, that could be spiritual, physical, or health, and mental. Family could involve immediate family, other family members, friends, and close friends. So this takes us to step number 5 and step number 6. Now comes the hard part. First was something that people don't do, that the first 3 steps: vision, mission, and core values. And many people, once they take a piece of paper, they'll write down. Either they'll note down mentally what they want to accomplish. But now, action. What will you do to accomplish that? People say, I'm going to compete in speech contest. But then they don't spend any time preparing. The action does not go along with their objective. So you have to define for each priority, what will you be doing? For example, under the family priority, immediate family, you want to leave a legacy for them. What will you do in order to leave a legacy for the family that you leave behind? So what are the actions? Just simply saying, this is what I want to accomplish. You have to actually note down what are the steps to accomplish that. What will you do? What you won't do. And notice each time you take a step, each time you drive yourself somewhere, each time you're taking action, you have to consider, is this in line with my priorities? Is this in line with my vision and mission? If not, you shouldn't be doing. People say that I want to do X, and then they do Y. And then they wonder, what happened? Where did time go by? Why did I not accomplish my goal? Some people call it fishbone, saying, okay, what's going to help you accomplish something and what will keep you from accomplishing? I call it resources. First, you say, what are the resources? What do you have? What will you be in possession of that will help you accomplish that priority? If you plan to travel, do you have the money? If you have the money, that's a resource that you have. If you plan on doing something that requires money and you don't have it, that's an obstacle standing in your way. And the question becomes, what will you do? How will you overcome that obstacle? People just dive into the goal and then, oh, a Toastmaster joined. I want to improve my communication skills. Why? Oh, I just got a job where I have to work with customers, so it'd be nice if I can communicate effectively. She comes around, joins the meeting, gives an icebreaker, and then we don't see her. It was time for renewal. She did not renew her membership. I called her. I said, everything okay? She says, no, I'm in school now taking classes, so I don't have time, so I've dropped my membership. It's strange. She did not know she was going to school a few months before when she joined Toastmasters. No, she hopped from one to the other. Now, if her job is important, that she improves her communication skills, then suddenly the job does not require any communication skills. No. She did not know what resources she had or what obstacles will stand in her way in order to overcome those obstacles. And this is the last of 9 steps. It is the most important step. What is your reason for being? Raison d'etre. What is your purpose? What will drive you to accomplish what you want to do? I've read a story in which you find a person on the 21st floor of a tall building. There are 2 tall buildings next to each other. There's a plank, a 4-inch wide plank that's laid from one building to the other building. Wind is blowing and you can see the plank swinging with the gust of wind. A person is standing, looking outside from building 2. There's a man on the other side in the other building, and he tells the person in the other building, hey, come across this plank over here and I will give you $100. Of course, you're going to say, no, hey, are you crazy? I'm not going to get up there and risk my life. Then the person says, oh, no. How about I give you 1,000 or 10,000? Go ahead, come on. It's not that bad. You can make it. You're going to say, no. 10,000, you can give me 100,000, you can give me 1 million. I'm not going to do that. And then you look at him and he is holding your child or your sibling. And he says, walk across. Right now, I'll drop him or her. You will get up and walk across. Why? Because now you have a reason. Now you have found your raison d'etre. A true story. In 1967, an elderly woman saw her kid playing in front of the house. She went inside the house. When she came back, she noticed he was pinned under the car. She was just a few pounds lady, but she looked around and did not see anyone who could help her. With one hand, she lifted the 2,000-pound car, and with the other hand, she pulled her grandson out of the car. How was she able to do? Because she had found her raison d'etre. She had found her reason to act. Media from around the country wanted to interview, talk to her about what she had just accomplished, what she had done. And she said no. She did not want to be interviewed because she said, I am ashamed. She was not ashamed for what she had done. She was ashamed because of what she had done. She said, look what I've been able to accomplish. I lifted a 2,000-pound car, and now I'm ashamed that I have wasted my life. I have the ability to do whatever I want to do. I could accomplish anything I want to do, and I have not done that. I never went to school and got a college degree. And at the over 60 years old, she goes to school and gets a degree. So, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, this is very important. You must know why you want to do something. If you want to join Toastmasters, what people say, oh, I want to join because I want the communication skills. No, but what is driving you really to do that? And unless you determine your raison d'etre, you are not going to take action that's required. And finally, sacrifice. If you want to accomplish something, if you want to fulfill your goal, if you want to accomplish your priorities, then what are you willing to sacrifice for it? If you don't want to sacrifice, there's no way you will be able to accomplish it. The first obstacle comes in your way, you can say, oh, I give up, hands up. You must know what will you sacrifice. I'm giving the example of speech contest. People say, I want to compete. It takes effort. The person who's not willing to take effort should not do it. Last Sunday, I was in a international speech contest. One lady, she had a very good speech, good content, but she did not win. She did not deliver with passion. I communicated with her. I said, you have a good speech. You need to polish it. She said, oh, I'm so busy during week. I don't have time to work on it. If that's the case, you should not have competed. Why compete? You wanted to win. You could see the disappointment on her face when she was announced as a second place winner. Now, second place is good, but unfortunately, in this case, there were only two speakers. You can say second place, or you can say she was last. So if she did not have the time, then she shouldn't have competed, because meaning that she was not willing to sacrifice. Yeah, of course, everyone is busy at work. But if she wanted to really win, she could have found, get up early in the morning 1 hour and work on it. Stay late at night 1 hour and work on it. Folks, if once you find your raison d'etre, you can accomplish anything you want. Otherwise, you'll say, hey, what happened? Why did I not accomplish? Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
DTM Talha speaker is on mute, I think.
Apologies. Okay, I won't. It will be futile to repeat my remarks, so I'll just continue. Toastmaster Asghar, are you there?
Okay,
Yes, I'm there, but I believe my evaluator has gone, and now it is futile for me to repeat it. But it's up to you. I'm ready. I'm a standby. I just lost my connection.
Ghulam is there. You can give.
All right. What we can do is we can give our third speaker a chance,
Okay.
who is not on the agenda, but he booked his speech, Toastmaster Adil Power, and then we'll see if your evaluator is not there. We can shift your evaluation. Is that okay?
Thank you. That will be the only good thing that you have ever done to me.
Okay, take
Thank
back.
you.
Take back.
Okay, I'm having second thoughts now. Anyhow, Toastmaster Adil, are you there? Toastmaster Adil.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm there.
Please turn on your video, and Toastmaster Imran Rana, please announce Toastmaster Adil's project. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmasters and guests. Toastmaster Adil Power will going to deliver his second project from Presentation Mastery Pathway. The objective of his speech is to deliver a speech with a purpose, and the speech should be well-organized speech. The main thing is that the speech should have a specific purpose. The speech should revolve around the purpose. And the speech title is quite lengthy. Comparison between generations of two different thought process based on varying situations. Speech duration is 5 to 7 minutes. I've observed Toastmaster Adil Power is a very good content speaker. So let's give him a big round of applause. Toastmaster Adil Power.
Toastmaster
Hello.
Adil. Yeah, can you see the timers window? It's Toastmaster Imran Rana's window. All right.
Okay.
I have spotlighted you both.
Since he's connected from the phone, so he won't.
Maybe you'll need to swipe left. You can see Imran's window. Imran, you can raise your virtual hand, not the real hand. Yeah.
Okay, for some reason I'm unable to observe that window.
All right.
Still I'm on my
Yeah. Now
I'm
can you
basically
now can you see Imran's window?
yeah.
All right,
I can
great.
see the others.
All right, you can start.
Okay. So as the topic is the comparison between two different thought processes generated as an outcome of various experiences. I'm going to relate this title to my experiences while I was in the city of Hyderabad. I have lived my most of the life in city of Hyderabad, and I cherish all those moments and time that I spent over there. While I'm talking to you about the city of Hyderabad, I'm remembering all the memories I had back there. So one of the memory that always is close to me is while I was walking through the streets of Hyderabad as a whole. Hyderabad is a very welcoming, warm, and is a calmer place as compared to the metropolitan city of Karachi. And Hyderabad is around 160 kilometers away from Karachi, the metropolitan city. Despite the fact they both are known as the twin city or the sister cities. However, the lifestyle is a lot different when we are talking about the two cities. So coming to the point that when I was in Hyderabad and I was walking through the streets, I used to interact with people and they used to share their emotions, their feels and thoughts with me regarding political situation, regarding inflation, regarding all sorts of things that used to happen that they experienced, and those were connected to the overall situation of the country. Now, interestingly, when I was walking and I was interacting with them, I was getting all these details in a way that made me feel that I'm part of them, not something else, just part of the crowd that is on the road, on the walk. And I made an experiment kind of thing. when I was traveling on the car, and when I interacted with some of these similar people, they tend to express some different kind of emotions and feel towards me. I tried understanding what are these feels. Why are they trying to show me this side of their life, which is basically a bit of flavor of misery, a bit of helplessness, and all these emotions, which basically suggested at that time that they needed someone to help them with their situation, which wasn't the case when I used to talk to them while I was on the walk in the streets. So these were the two perspectives I began to realize that people had in this particular city that I tend to roam around. Now, even when we are talking about city, there are many towns there. So maybe my town where I was walking, maybe that was prominently giving off this thought, not the whole city. However, you do understand when we are talking about a particular area, they interact with each other, and data and all sorts of things transfer from one place to another. So does the practices. So it is basically then I realized that people tend to have way different personalities based upon the person they are interacting with. One of the personality may be of helping, and the other might be helplessness. Now the connection between the two is pretty much upon the personality of the person. For suppose if I, who was in the streets walking, talking to them, felt like being a part of them, and when me going into the car, interacting with them, felt like I had a barrier that is a financial barrier kind of thing. That's why they might have observed me in a way different way. So I actually went a bit deeper into the thought. Is that really the finances they are basically dividing the things, or can there be something even more, more part of the soul or part of the core thing that I'm missing? Because I have always been a person who pay attention to the smaller details, pay attention to the spiritual aspect as well, and all sorts of forms of mental, emotional states. Now, considering all these points, I began to search. I began a path for my own self to recognize the difference between difference between a lot many individuals that I'm coming across, and to make a way for them and for my own self to get to the next point, which is basically to help each other to make the right move. Despite the fact that I used to walk around, I frequently made this effort of going on the car so that I can actually see the output or the feedback I will be getting while I'm switching the windows. I would say switching between the windows. And sooner I realized that it's not just the windows; it's the overall perspective that people tend to change at times. Some of them have the same personality, smoother personality, while they were on the road, were watching me on the walk, or while I was on the car, or some other way. These people are, I would say, the core people, and I would like to keep close to myself. And the difference between the perspective about myself is that financial situation, political situation, and all other aspects through which our society is created might have created distinction between the two thoughts. However, when I sum it up, I would say that it's basically the personality of the person. Personality of the person, how it deems something to be correct or not correct. So I would say the people who smoothly grow through the life and live through the life are the people who are worth having in your surrounding and in your own system. Whereas the environment, now the thought is that system and the environment. The people who tends to change their thought very much are part of the environment. You can interact with the environment, however, the system or the core needs to be with you and should be carried with you to the next point. And that's when I realized that I'm evolving, and as I'm able to distinguish between the environment and the system. Thank you all. This is Adil Pambar.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Adil. And now it is time for not our third speaker, but first speaker, Toastmaster Mohammed Asghar. Toastmaster Asghar, can you turn on your video and audio? And we will ask.
Yes, sure.
Yeah. So, and you can add a second thing to the good things that I've done for you. And that is that I'm reassigning your evaluator to be distinguished Toastmaster Ghulam Fadil.
Yes, I've sent my detail to him just in WhatsApp.
Yeah. So let me correct a misconception here. The DTM stands not for discharged Toastmaster. It stands for distinguished Toastmaster. So even more a Toastmaster than before. No, yes. So with that, Toastmaster, I think
you have to start with the beginning. Then.
Yeah, if you can start with the beginning, that would be great.
Not so great.
The third thing that I've done.
Is it clear?
Yeah. Yeah, you can start.
Is it moving?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I will try to be as quick as possible, and I'm sorry. Once again, Mr. President, dear Master, and the guest, if there is any. Planning of any project is far easier than implementing it because we plan it on our screen in the comfort of a bedroom, drawing room, boardroom, while slurping our tea or coffee. Executing it on ground is altogether a different thing. The 3-day literature festival and book fair in Gwadar city truly tested my mettle. It started from the anticipated anxieties whether objectives could be met as I'd envisioned in planning level. For example, would the committee take time to work as the member had already promised? Would our guest from outside fulfill their commitment or promise to make it Gwadar? Would our financial contribution, our financial contributor fulfill their commitment regarding the financial support? In short, we were stuck, what we called a stub in the back myth. But finally, the D-Day reached, and it all began from the inauguration session. All nominated guests were there on as per schedule. Now, like every event, it began with the it began from like every events, we were selective with regard to the chief guest. And as I said earlier, I'm not in a position to hide the bitter truth. We decided to be a gold digger. We targeted people with an eye on their money, power, and influence. That day, this gentleman happened to be the most powerful man around us. So we caught him successfully and took him there where he was supposed to be that day. Like every event, the combination of this money, influence, power, this cocktail worked very well. And to our surprise, many public intellectuals from different aspects of life, from politics, science, and literatures were there, and they have come from outside to grace the occasions, and thus hugely contributed in the success of the festival because they contributed in more than one occasions. Now come to the role of TM Asghar. I have already mentioned that I had more than one role, but I consider this role the most important role, the role of a dignified member of an august gathering or the audience. Why? because it was learning to me, it was enjoyable, and above all, it was relaxing. And the next role was a moderator. I also moderated at least 3 panel discussion that day. And where I applied, as I mentioned, my techniques, my skills, my knowledge of a moderator, what I had learned from this club, from one of the project in the pathway, which trained me, or in some extent exposed me how a moderator should be. And I also made frequent visit to bookstalls, and I mentioned that I roamed around the powerful people, pursue them, convince them to purchase, not only purchase books, but then also contributed them. And this is again one way of being a gold digger. Now, these are the collaborators, our partners in crime. This is basically the committee. We held frequent meetings almost every day in all 3 days to see if the things are moving in the right direction and to take corrective measures where required. And this is the last day, which is usually happen to be the day of recognition and appreciations. These children and elders were our role holders, and we appreciated them merely handing them the appreciation letter. It was all free of cost. They were our volunteers. Now, dear Toastmaster, we began our plan with anxieties and faced the tyranny of pessimism from the bewildered faces around us, who taught us that we could, who thought that we could not do it, but we implemented it with satisfaction and had the last laugh. Now, this is the end of my speech, but I would like to leave the stage by contributing my final thoughts. And here is my final takeaway. What I learned was, although flushing out an idea is always an easy thing to do, growth always lies in working on it. And more specifically, I now have a belief personally that I not only can plan and set targets, but also can build a team of required skill and relevant competencies to demonstrate my leadership role in any context and can grow in that role. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mohammed Asghar. That brings our prepared speeches session to a close. Mr. Timer, did all the speakers qualify? Yes. We did it. And speakers have one. Yeah, so I'll be floating the vote for the best prepared speaker in just a few moments on the club's WhatsApp group as well as on the Zoom chat box. Now, meanwhile, we move on to the next session, which is the table topic session. And the table topic session is actually where we speak on the spot without thinking. And in fact, we try to think, but we are not allowed to think because we have to speak immediately. And today, our table topics master is someone who already introduced himself through his webinar. So thankfully, I don't have to introduce him because his introduction cannot be short. It is so long, and every time you introduce DTM Sarfraz, you're afraid that you'll miss some vital aspect of his personality. So without further ado, let's put our hands together for distinguished Toastmaster Sarfraz Nazir.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid. As it was mentioned, this is the second segment of our meeting, Table Topics. During this portion of the meeting, we get to practice thinking on our feet, responding to impromptu situations. The time for table topics is 1 to 2 minutes. The speaker must speak for a minimum of 1 minute. The maximum time is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. We also ask you to use the word of the day while you're responding to your table topics question. The word of the day for today's meeting is futile. Futile, Futile, incapable of producing any useful result. In other words, having no result or effect, useless. I'm sure that we will not have a futile table topic section today. How are speakers chosen? The order for selecting table topic speakers is members of the club who have no role, then members of the club who have minor roles or facilitator roles, like our counter or listener or grammarian. Then guests, only if guests are willing to participate. So I'm going to give you a few seconds. Raise your virtual hand, not your actual hand, but you click on your virtual hand, raise your hand if you would like to participate in table topics. And then DTM Talha, I'll appreciate it if you can send me the names of anybody that's in the room, if you have guests who are willing to participate.
There was no guest in the room. Everybody has substantial
Some-
speaking roles in the room. So you can go with the online guests.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are different ways of presenting table topics. One is to ask a question and let the speaker respond to that question. Another is where the table talks master mentions a phrase, a few words, and then wants the speaker to continue with that phrase and give a complete speech. Another method is by showing an object and letting the speaker talk about what they saw. So just we have Wase Abdul Rahman. Now, typically, you ask a question first so that everyone is thinking that, hey, I may be asked to answer this, and then you call upon someone. In KTC, many times we call upon the speaker first, ask them that to respond to the next question, and then we give the topic. Okay, I'll go with the Toastmaster Wase Ahmed. Toastmaster Wase Ahmed, would you rather keep your old memories and lose the ability to make new memories, or you would prefer to lose old memories and be able to make new ones? The question is, would you rather keep your old memories but lose the ability to make new memories? Or would you prefer to lose old memories and have the ability to make new memories? So in other words, which one will choose? Keep the old and no new, or no, let the old ones go and make new ones? Toastmaster Wase Ahmed. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, for this topic. I would say that the answer is quite clear. I would go for the future rather than for the past, because past is only for reflecting or learning. We cannot live our past. Our past most of the time does not define us, because what defines us is what we are in ourselves. We might reflect in our past and look okay, and we might drive energy, or we might go back and feel about certain memories, feel that we had some good memories that might make us smile. There might be certain memories which might make us cry. But again, they cannot give us any benefit anymore, rather than the fact that if we could have learned something from that. But coming to the future, future is always evolving, always changing. Even if we learn something from the past, it's not will be something we can do like control C and control V. We also have to change something. We have to adapt about the future. So I would turn into future, because another thing is future is exciting, future is accelerating, future is uncertain. And when something is uncertain, there is a lot of possibilities and probabilities. So we have a lot to think, rather than we can think about something that was in the past and do nothing about it. Rather, think about something that is in the future and we can do something about it. So that's from my side. Thank you, DTM Sarvaj.
Thank you, Toastmaster Wasi Ahmed. Next question. Toastmaster Fiza Aziz. Are you available, Toastmaster Fiza Aziz?
Yes. I am.
Okay. Okay. Question. Should children be paid to do chores or tasks? Should children be paid to do chores or tasks? Explain your answer.
Sir, I will take it. You and my fellow Toastmasters when I was 9 years old, and I loved doing all the housework as an unpaid. Can I use an Urdu word here? It's an unpaid maid. I loved cleaning the house. I used to clean like mad, and my mother believed that no, you don't have to get paid. You're getting paid in experience. That's what she said. So I think I think if children like getting a nominal like an allowance or something, that would be great, because yes, it motivates them. But as an again, I said my mother always said you're getting paid in experience and you should do it yourself. So I think they should not be paid, because again, you're teaching them the value of life, you're teaching them organizational skills, and an impact of money on children is makes a great it makes an impact on them. So yes, what I think what my mother did with me was right, and to this day I can still hear her scolding about cleaning my room and everything. So I'm glad I did not get paid. I got paid in experience, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fiza Aziz. Next, Iram, our guest Iram.
Yes.
Yeah. I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe my eyes. I could not believe my eyes. So continue the sentence and then expand upon it.
Then what should I believe if I couldn't believe my eyes?
All
Can
right.
you have another question?
Sure. It was a lovely day. It was a lovely day.
No, I don't want to participate. You should complete it first.
Okay. Would you like a different topic entirely? Guest Iram?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
Okay. I'm going to show you an object and you talk for 1 to 2 minutes.
What is this?
It's not visible.
Yeah, whatever it is, whatever you think it is, you just talk. Give a 1 to 2 minutes talk. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You just see whatever you think it is.
It seems like it is a stopwatch. And there is a 3-time duration, which means the first one is going to start whenever a speaker or someone is going to start another topic. The second one is basically the minimum amount of the time that he or she needs to speak on. It's going to reflect there. Along with this, the third one is the final one, which is the maximum amount of the time that the speaker is allowed to speak. It seems like this, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. With respect to the picture, I can say it is a stopwatch. That's all from my side.
Okay, I've not seen the green yet. If you want to say a few more words. If not, thank you. Appreciate your response. Next one, I have a question. To me, it may not be that difficult, but some may find it to be difficult. DTM Talha, I'm going to go against the policy, which, in which case I said, especially the big four, usually you do not ask them to participate in table topics. But you're experienced enough, and I would like you to answer this so our guests and new members can see how to answer a question, even if they are not sure what the question is all about. The question is, describe the color green to a blind person. Describe the color green to a blind person.
All right. Thank you so much, DTM Sarfraz. Describing the color green to a blind person. What I would say. First of all, I know that blind people may not be able to see, but they have heightened senses in other respects. And they can have imagination. So the answer would depend if that person was born blind or they became blind. And I will assume that you're talking about a person who was born blind, because if they became blind later, I would be able to explain what color green was to them by making them recall green objects. And how would I describe green in terms of feelings? It would be a feeling of peace, tranquility, because that's what the color green is associated with, the greenery around us. And I would describe it as being very healthy, very nourishing. And sometimes it can also be the color of fertility. So instead of trying to describe something that they simply cannot imagine due to their unfortunate disability, I would perhaps try to invoke the feelings of this color. And for me, this color means tranquility, fertility, and peace. And I believe that green is one color which has a very deep association with humanity, because humans have always associated greenery with water. And water is something that everyone can recognize, whether they are blind or deaf or dumb, because everyone needs water. And the taste of water and the nourishment of water is perhaps to me the greatest attribute of the color green. Over to you, DTM Sarfraz.
Thank you, DTM Talha, for your response. Our next speaker, Abdul Rahman. Are you available?
Yes, I am available.
Okay. Question is, it's a phrase and you continue the phrase and expand upon it. It started as an ordinary day. It started as an ordinary day.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmasters Sarfraz. Yes, every day just starts as an ordinary day, but it's we that make that particular day as a very special and memorable and useful for ourselves as well as for the people surrounding us. Every day and uh, every day we are contributing our efforts in making this world as a good and a lively place for everybody. Well, if someone starts complaining that it's started as an ordinary day and therefore I was not able to achieve or do anything good, that will be an excuse for him or her for doing nothing and just wake up for that day, eat and go to bed. So its day is just the name of sunrise and sunset, but the activities which usually perform in that particular 24 hours, it all depends upon how you achieve that day and how you take how you take this day as a challenge and how you can make it as good day for everybody as well as yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Abdul Rahman. Toastmaster Augustine, are you available to respond to a table topics question? Good. Mr. Timer, did all speakers qualify?
Yes. Except yes, Iram is not qualified.
Okay. So I thought our speakers were DTM Talha bin Hamid, Toastmaster Fiza Aziz, Toastmaster Wasi Ahmed, and Abdul Rahman, who qualified. So you'll be seeing the best tabletop speaker vote. Please take a moment to vote for the best speaker. And this was a sampling of different ways of presenting table topics. The DTM Talha, I asked you to describe the color green to a blind person. It was a topic that I heard several years ago. I think it was in a speech contest. And at first glance, I said, well, how do I describe? So you did a wonderful job. I'm not going to go into details since we have our table topics evaluator who will be going over how well the speakers responded. But in this case, I liked one he said was, I'm going to take money, crumble it up, and let this person, blind person, hear the sound. And I'll tell him that's what green. And then I said, I'm going to take this person early in the morning and have him walk barefoot on a freshly mowed grass and tell him this feeling. So you were right in saying that you will describe it to him in terms of the feelings. And the objects, you mentioned the object that this timer, it's for cooking, for example. It has just 3 timers. It's not for, actually it can be used for speech timing, but it is mainly for 3 different, if you're cooking 3 different dishes, biryani, chicken dish, or vegetables, you have different times that it takes for different dishes. So you can set different times. This timer is not good for speeches because even though you can set 3, it does not have a button that starts all 3 timers at the same time. You have to individually start each one. And if you're speaking, you're not going to take time to start each one. Or if you start your speech with the first one, time starts. And then you have to take extra time to start the second and third. So it's mainly for household use, but it could be used for timing. So that was good talking about that. It's a stopwatch that can be used for speech timings. And coming to the phrase, is just whatever comes to your mind at first. You think of the phrase and what comes to your mind. I couldn't believe my eyes. Early in the morning, I was at work. My boss comes in and hands me an envelope. I open it. It had a check for $1,000. He said, "This is for you because you have been doing a great job." I couldn't believe my eyes. So there's different ways of answering. It was a lovely day. So I thought, because I had planned for a picnic, and then when I got to the park, it started to rain. So those are some example samples. This concludes our second section of meeting. I'm now going to turn the control of the meeting back to our Toastmaster so he can introduce our general evaluator. Back to you, Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Sarkar, for another great table topic session. Everyone, please vote for the best table topic speaker. The poll is on the WhatsApp group as well as on the Zoom chat box. Please vote only once. Otherwise, we will disqualify the winner. So there you have it. Your vote will be futile if you vote more than once. Continuing with our theme of lessons. Everything in life is a lesson. For example, during the prepared speeches, we learned about the thought process, the contrast between living in Karachi, living in Hyderabad, and having a different life at one time and one place, and an entirely different one at another. We had a full motivational and no, I will not say motivational because motivational speaking to me is just a wash, to be very honest. DTM Sarfar's speech was much more substantial, full of meaning, full of actionable advice. And of course, we had Toastmaster Asghar's speech, which was in some ways even more inspiring because holding a literary festival and having it succeed in Gwadar and doing all towards the success, even if Toastmaster Asghar called himself and his colleagues gold diggers, the gold they were digging was actually the success of the literary festival. Nothing in their pockets, hopefully. Although with Toastmaster Asghar, anything is possible. Moving on to the journal evaluation. And journal evaluation is the crux of Toastmasters, especially for our newcomers. Please don't miss this session because this is the most instructive session amongst all three sessions. So starting with the journal evaluators, but first we will welcome to the stage our journal evaluator of the day, someone who has been as a pillar of Karachi Toastmasters Club, and yet he has returned after such a long time that he used to be a toddler when we last saw him, and now his hair is all white. So he's a distinguished Toastmaster, a banker, and a very effervescent, bubbly speaker, full of imagination, full of life. He never fails to inject life wherever he goes. And most of the time, he goes places which are anywhere but here. Let's put our hands together for distinguished Toastmaster Ghulam Khan.
Thank you. Thank you very much, DTM Talha, for such a generous introduction. So, Toastmasters and guests, this is going to be the third session of the day and a very important session and not to be missed. Reason being, all the speakers will be evaluated by the evaluators. So now, how the general evaluation section is divided? This is divided into 4 different parts. In the first part, the prepared speakers will be evaluated by their evaluators. In the second part, I would be inviting the table topic evaluator, who will be coming on the stage and evaluating all those 4 table topic speakers. In the third section, we'll have the role holders report. So in the beginning, since all the guests and the Toastmasters who are here with us since the beginning would be remembering that in the initial, when we were starting the meeting, the role holders came on the stage and they explained their role. So those role holders will be coming on the stage and will be giving their report. and that section should not be missed. And the last but not the least, this is in the fourth part, that is the general evaluator, that is myself, DTM GQ, will be presenting a report on the entire meeting. So this is how this section, the general evaluation, is going to happen.
It is not.
So for the very yes, I still remember that I did not make a mistake. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Imran Rana. So for the first section, we had three speakers. That is, the first speaker was Toastmaster Azhar Ramzan, the second one was DTM Sarfraz, and third one was Toastmaster Adil Pawar. So let me invite the first speaker evaluator. That was Toastmaster Azhar evaluator, and he was none other than DTM GQ. Please put your hands together. Thank you. You too. So, Toastmaster Azhar Ramzan, a good friend of mine, always I enjoy whenever he's speaking on the stage. The reason being why I always enjoy his speeches, that his speeches are very interesting and very detail oriented. He always uses good punchlines, very good punchlines, and I am always amazed with his vocabularies. So very good words, very good sentences, very well-built speech whenever he gives it. Secondly, whenever he gives a speech, you are always hooked right from the first word and to the second. And this time around, he was also using a visual aid, and our eyes were totally glued onto the screens. Because the way he moved on with his speech, he was continuously going with those slides, which were quite interesting with those pictures. So his speech was about a story of a book fair, which was held in Gawada. And it was very well built, that the way he started, that how the committee, of which he was also a member, was formed for this book fair at Gawada. The challenge which they had was to find a chief guest. And he showed the picture of the chief guest, and he said that this is the chief guest who has a very influential, very powerful, but I think you guys must have noticed that he did not use the name of that gentleman. And we all know he was the ex-chief minister of Balochistan, Jam Kamal, if I remember the name correctly. So that was the best thing about that speech, that despite of not using the name of the chief guest, we all knew that how powerful and influential Jam Kamal is. Then he moved on with other slides, and he showed us different politicians' pictures as to how they were delivering the speeches and how they were purchasing the books and how Toastmaster Azhar Ramzan wanted to contribute. He also mentioned over there in his speech that how Toastmaster International Program has helped him building his career and how that was contributed. So overall, net, it was a very well-drafted speech right from the beginning till the end, and he left us with a good golden message at the end, which was the learning of that. So overall, it was not futile to listen to his speech. It was an amazing time, and just a piece of an advice that maybe he has to use good internet so that the connectivity should not break in future. And apart from the speech, the content, the voice modulation, the tone, everything was perfect. A little bit of advice on the body language, which I thought was slightly missing. The stage was not properly used. That's it from my side. Over to you, General Evaluator. Thank you very much, DTM GQ. So our next evaluator of this next speaker was DTM Sarfraz, and his evaluator was DTM Taha Mohammed. So let's put a big hand together for DTM.
Thank you so much. DTM Sarfraz, today you delivered a webinar on the
raison d'etre of flight. And I hope my pronunciation has slightly improved because I Googled it in the meantime. Let's start with the positives. I believe you set up a huge stage for yourself when you put yourself against the PowerPoint slide. Brilliant technique there that gave us the sensation of you standing on the stage against a huge backdrop. And that is something very good to see. It fits the brief of what we were about to do. Your presentation was great with sharp visuals, and that is an often under-celebrated part of your speeches, how adequate, how pin sharp the presentations are. When DTM Sarfraz uses a presentation, it is easy to look at, easy to decipher, and it is adding something to his presentation rather than being used as a support device. And that is something we could all learn, to resist putting too much on the PowerPoint slide and just making it a complement to the content. You had visual passion right from the start, although we'll come to that later. It escalated as you went through the speech and peaked around the 3/4 time before dwindling down again. You used some great examples as always. That is a given with your speeches by now. I was very inspired by the vision of your life. Like, live the life to the fullest, make a difference, and leave a legacy. And that is the second most attractive vision I have experienced. The first one being eat, pray, love. No, I'm just kidding. That was truly inspiring because it covers your life, it covers what you're supposed to do with your life, and it covers how you're supposed to leave this world. And then your statement, treat everyone as they wish to be treated. And then you escalating that to treat everyone as if you were treating them for the last time. And that makes us wonder, why are you so good to us? That scares us a little bit, but jokes apart, that is a beautiful approach to life because you don't know. It might be the last time you see them, or it might be the last time they see you. A couple of improvement areas. A lack of pizzazz in this part. I believe it could have been more attention grabbing, more inspirational, given that you were setting up a 25-minute webinar. And secondly, perhaps a few more personal stories would have enriched the presentation more. But overall, aside from a little bit of monotony, I cannot fault your presentation. So overall project well delivered, engaging, useful. Just a little bit of variety, stories and vocal variety would serve it even better. Over to you, General Developer.
So our next speaker was Toastmaster Adil Pawar, and he will be welcomed by Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, so-called distinguished Toastmaster Ghulam Tawir. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, today Toastmaster Adil Pawar delivered a second project from Presentation Mastery. Okay, the project required us that a speech should be a well-crafted, plus it should have a specific purpose. I must say, Toastmaster Adil, that you are a very confident speaker and you have a good command over language. You started off with, you told us about the city of Hyderabad and the distance between Karachi and Hyderabad is 160 kilometers, and also mentioned the fact that it's a twin city and it's a sister city. Both Karachi and Hyderabad are sister cities of each other. You took us to told us about your memories in Hyderabad and took us to the streets of Hyderabad that you'd like to mingle with people, you like to talk to them about anything, about any topic. Initially, it was quite engaging. Your speech was quite engaging as you have a very What do I say, that you have a very good voice quality that engrossed us in your speech. Initially, we were in your speech, but then when you constantly talk about the about discussion of about the people or conversation about the people, then I lost my interest in your speech. Since the project requires proper opening, body, and conclusion, it has a specific purpose, and I did not find any purpose in your speech. You started quite casually, means maybe you have come up with a good opening statement, then you build up your speech on that. It looks like to me a very philosophical speech, but it was your thoughts, but those thoughts were not organized in a proper way. And you ended up abruptly as well. So maybe I would suggest you to redo the same project and maybe properly write down your speech, then discuss with your mentor about the speech. And I would suggest you to redeliver this if you want to deliver the same speech, then come up with a proper what do we call purpose. So overall, I love your confidence. It was quite good. You have a very good command over language, so you can use those strong points in your speech. Overall, that's my feedback. Over to you, General Badab.
So Toastmaster and Ranana, you do not have to go far away because you are also the table topic evaluator. So over to you. The stage is yours to evaluate the table topics.
What's the timing?
30 seconds per speaker.
All
three
qualified. Okay. So everyone please vote for the evaluator and also vote for the best table topics, please. Yeah, so I'm floating the poll. Please continue, Toastmaster Imran.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so let me start with the first speaker. Toastmaster Wasi Ahmed was the first speaker, and the topic was given to him was keep or lose your old memories with the new ones. Toastmaster Wasi, you started with salutation that is required in table topic speeches. You spoke quite well on the topic, and you go for the future memories instead of keeping the old ones. You use some very good words like future is exciting, accelerating, and uncertain, but it is challenging as well. I loved your speech. Your whole speech was in a chronological order. The only area of improvement which I found in your speech that your camera position was quite close to your face. Maybe you could have stand a little bit far from the screen so that we could see your hand gestures as well. If you could some vocal variety, that would add plus point to your speech. Overall, wonderful speech. Hats off to you. Second speaker was Toastmaster Fiza Aziz. Should children be paid for the chores or tasks given to them? Toastmaster Fiza, you took us to your childhood. You told us your personal story. You miss out the salutation, so maybe next time start the speech with the salutation. You are a confident speaker. And you spoke quite well. You have a very good technique that if you want to put some emphasis on any specific thing, then you can use that with your vocal variety. You have a good command of a language. Again, the camera position was not quite well. Maybe you can work upon that. so that you could use your hand gestures as well. Overall, you spoke confidently and we learned a lot from your speech. Then we have Toastmaster Aram, sorry, guest Aram. Guest Aram, since two topics were given to you, but unfortunately, you couldn't speak on that. I would suggest that maybe you could have took those topics as a challenge and you could have said something or you tried to build the story on that, but an object was shown to you and you spoke very well. You described each and everything as per the Toastmasters speech duration. So it was quite well. When the object was shown to you, then you started speaking about that. So it was quite good. Maybe next time if you attend the meeting, whatever the topic you are given to, try to speak on that instead of changing the topic. So overall, you had a good command over language. So keep coming, keep delivering your speeches. Then we had DTM Kalpa. Describe the color green to a blind person. You started with a salutation. You used the stage quite well. Your hand gestures were perfectly aligned with your speech. You spoke quite well. I really like that point, whether the person is born blind or became blind, and then you try to describe the color according to that situation. It was quite an interesting speech. Maybe you could deliver a 5 to 7 minutes on that as well. So overall, it was wonderful. Maybe you could have used some vocal variety in it. It would add value to it. Overall, it was wonderful. Then we had Abdul Rahman. It started as an ordinary day. So hats off to you, Toastmaster Abdul Rahman. You took the challenge, you accepted the challenge, and you delivered a very wonderful, a thought-provoking speech. I must say that every day is an ordinary day. It is up to us that we can make this ordinary day an important day. And while you were delivering a speech, I got an idea for my speech as well. So soon I'm going to deliver a speech on that. You uses some amazing words like day is not meant to be sunrise or sunset. It's about how you spend the day, how you make it more lively or valuable. So it was quite inspiring. So throughout your speech, you spoke quite well, quite confident. Maybe you could start the speech with the salutation, even as a word that is for Toastmasters and guests. Overall, wonderful speech. Again, if your camera position was right, maybe far from, if you're standing a little bit far so that we could see your hand gestures. Overall, wonderful speech. So overall, all the speakers spoke quite well, and we learned so many things from their speeches. So with that, I would like to hand over the charge back to our general evaluator, so-called distinguished Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, table topic evaluator. So this comes to an end to our second part of the evaluation. So in the third part, we'll be starting with the reports from the role holders. So to start with the report from a role holder, may I please invite Toastmaster Rafat Mobeen. She will be giving a report on word master as well as grammarian. And the word of the day was futile. So over to you, madam.
The word of the day, futile, is used by DTM Sarfraz once, DTM Talha twice, DTM Asghar once, and DTM Ghulam Kadib twice. As a grammarian, I didn't find any bad use of English today, rather find excellent use of English. Punchline, for example, punchline, August gathering, wearing more than one cap to wear, persuade, disseminate, obstacle, family obligation, leave a legacy, pinnacle, integrity, unlock, unfortunate disability, substantial, to grace the occasion, bitter truth, cocktail, hook, crux, educate, easy to decipher, nutshell, collaboration, tranquility, D-Day, prospective, tend to change, willing to sacrifice, define, priorities, platinum role, core values, integrity, and many other words. With this, I complete my report.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster Mubi. So our next role holder is Toastmaster Mohammad Iqbal, and he had a role of timer. So Toastmaster Mohammad Iqbal, can you please come on stage and give your report?
Thank you, DTM Abdul Qadir. Good pharmacy. As I show my report on the sessions, as for the previous speeches, all three are qualified, were qualified for table topic, and one is not qualified and others are qualified. For evaluation, all three evaluators were qualified. Now my report is complete.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Iqbal. Right, so that comes to the fourth and last part of the general evaluation, that is my evaluation. So, Karachi Toastmasters weekly meeting.
Listener. Sorry.
Listener. Do we have listener?
Yeah, we do. Hip-hop.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. So, last role holder is Toastmaster Hiba, and she will be presenting report as a listener.
You just survived.
Yes, I was about to mention myself. Anyways, fellow Toastmasters and guests, who spoke peace and tranquility?
Talha.
Yes. Could you wait a minute? My laptop battery is about.
You can join with via cell phone, Toastmaster Eba. Or you can connect.
Yes, I'm back. Anyways, TM Emmanuel said DTM Talha, right?
Yes.
Okay. What are the values that we live by? Someone said.
DGM Sarfraz.
The DDM Sarfraz.
Yes. We decided to be gold digger.
TM Asghar.
Yes. A little bit of monotony.
Talha.
Yes. Freshly mowed grass. Freshly mowed grass.
Sarfraz.
Yes. DTM Sarfaraz. Pessimism.
Toastmaster Asghar.
Yes. Platinum rule.
DGM Sarfraz.
DDM Sarfraz.
Yes. Build a house without foundation.
DDM Sarfraz.
Yes. While slurping your coffee.
Toastmaster Asghar.
Yes. Had the last laugh.
Toastmaster Asghar.
Yes. And the last one, a little bit of pizzazz.
Talha.
Yes. That's about it for my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So finally I survived. Thanks to DT and Tala. Okay. So the last section of general evaluation, that is the general evaluators report. So Karachi Toastmasters meeting is scheduled to start at 6:30. But as usual, I was also the main contributor to come late to this meeting. And it started at 7:10 with a delay of 40 minutes. The meeting. All right. So, yes, I came back to the beach tree after, I believe, 4 or 5 months. But to my surprise, we were only 5 individuals sitting in this room. This is highly unlikely of KTC meetings. So I would urge all the audience, because I could see many audience, online audience, who are Karachiites and who have been coming to this meeting physically. I would again urge that instead of joining through online, please be physically present in this room, because the way we learn together, and we have been learning together physically in front of each other, has been immense and has been excellent. So let's carry on with that momentum and zeal. So there were 3 speeches. All the 3 speakers were very eloquent. We had a big project which was delivered by Toastmaster DTM Sarfraz, a 25-minute speech as well. So that is the key part of the KTC meeting, that whenever you attend, you can easily be a witness to a keynote speaker, keynote speech in KTC meetings. Rest of the meeting went very smoothly. There were no hiccups. There were no technical glitches, apart from one speaker who had logged off because of some network issue. The door holders had delivered a very good report. Overall, net, this is a very good meeting and to the standards of the Karachi Toastmasters. So that brings an end to the general evaluation, and I will hand over charge to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shivam. And the final lesson of the day is that when you start on time, you can end on time. But KTC members know one thing: no matter when we start, and no matter how short the agenda is, we always manage to take the meeting to 9:30 at least. So it's like a vacuum. If the agenda is small, it expands to fill up the entire duration. And today we did that by starting late, and also, mainly by starting late, because everyone else and everything else was well within time. So that is one of the lessons learned. The second lesson learned is that, as DT and Pradhan Father said, that if you have the opportunity, turning up here is like nothing else. Turning up physically in a Toastmasters meeting, interact with others and be with others. You can learn all that you want online. And I'm a staunch believer in the fact that there's no difference in learning. In fact, online, you may also get other skills that you will not get here. But meeting others and being with others, that cannot be accomplished to that degree online. So I will float the poll now for best facilitator and best big four. Please vote for your favorite role there. And meanwhile, I'll hand over the challenge back to our president, DTM Shafrazi. And let me mention to our newcomers that DTM Sarfraz joins us all the way from Texas.
Thank you, DTM Talha. Before we conduct our club business, I was going to ask our new member, Ghazin Khan, for comments, but I guess I just saw her message that her battery has died, so we have lost her. And I missed seeing her, asking her a question also. So as for the guests, I think our guests have left. We have with us Fazlur Rahman Sheikh.
Yeah.
Would you like to say a few words? But before you do, a note for our friend, new distinguished Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir. The published meeting time is 6:30 p.m., which is meet and greet. Sometimes we are so excited to see our fellow Toastmasters that our meet and greet extends beyond 6:45. So our meeting did start at 6:45, but it was an informal meeting. We had quite a bit of discussion, especially with our guest and a new member, along with the DTM Irfan Farooqi. And then officially we called the meeting to order at about, right after 7. And go ahead, Fazlur Rahman Sheikh.
Unmute.
Unmute yourself, sir. Fazlur Rahman sir, please unmute yourself.
Yes. Thank you for your comments.
You spoke quite well.
Okay. We appreciate, I guess he has joined us before, so we appreciate his joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again next week, Fazlur Rahman Sheikh. And the rest of members, any non-member at Beach Luxury? I don't think we do. So we are there were some hiccups. We had roles filled, and some people dropped out at the last minute. But thanks to our VP Education, we were able to fill the roles. Once again, we had 3 speeches, but I guess one was a long speech that takes place of several speeches. So in general, I would say that this was a great meeting with several guests and a few new members joining us. And I think our third speaker is he from also a member of another club?
No, sir, he's our member.
Our member,
Just
one of the new, just our club.
Yeah.
And again, the last Saturday was the District 122 Club Officer Training Session held in Karachi. And thanks to all the KTC officers who attended. We have one officer who actually lives in Faisalabad, and he'll be attending the next session that'll be held in Lahore. And as soon as the club officer training attendance records are entered into the Toastmasters International portal, we will have our 10 goals for the Distinguished Club program. And that's a great achievement, speaks highly of the officers and active members of Karachi Toastmasters Club. Special thanks to all the members who participate in the prepared speeches section. And the reason I said there are some clubs where if you attend the meeting, they have no prepared speaker. They have 1 or 2 on the agenda, and at the last minute they drop out. So all they do is have an extended table topics session. And no speech means no one is progressing in their pathways or their improving communication, public speaking skills if they're not preparing and delivering speeches. And I had posted the results of the DCP in WhatsApp group. You're also welcome to go to Toastmasters International website and see the status. One thing you notice in the DCP program are the first 6 goals. They have to do with education, the pathways, completion of levels within pathways. And in case of Karachi, you'll see large numbers. And that says that Toastmasters in Karachi are giving their speeches and then getting credit for it. Not only the club is providing the service that it needs to provide to its members, but it's exceeding because we're not just meeting the minimum requirements, we are exceeding those requirements. And it makes me very appreciative of what KTC and its members accomplish, because I went to several districts in the world and looked at their DCP. There are many clubs on this planet that have zero, nada, nil, not a single level completed. What does that mean? People are not giving speeches? And if they are, then the VP education is sleeping, not making sure that they get credit. So something is wrong in that case. And even though many people in Texas do not know what District 122 is or what Karachi Toastmasters, many of them do know. I've been posting in the District 25 and District 50, where I'm a member, about the success of Karachi Toastmasters Club. Over 20 years of being distinguished or select distinguished or press distinguished. That's marvelous. And I would like all of you to applaud that. Very congratulations to members, former members, and current members, and future members, Karachi Toastmasters. That's great. There are many. And I wish the Katie's District 122 had some recognition program. Many, many years ago, a very good friend of mine who served as district director, back then we called them district governors. Since then, he has passed on. He had asked me to be chairperson for club quality, and I changed that club quality chairperson title to Kaizen chairperson and introduced a new recognition program recognizing clubs that have been distinguished or better for at least 3 years, recognizing clubs that have been distinguished or better for at least 5 years, and recognizing clubs and that have been distinguished for 10 or better years and so on. That program is still continuing in District 25. You will see, oh, we are distinguished, but then after that, the club disappears. And unfortunately, in Karachi, being a distinguished President's District Club is now a habit. It just happens. We don't have to really push for it. People do the right things. And I would like to thank our officers who are with us, DTM Talha bin Hamid and Toastmaster Imran Rana. They have served in various club officer positions along with various positions at the district. They are the backbone of Karachi Toastmasters Club, along with the active members. And like DTM Ghulam Qadir, who is one of the newest DTMs, they're joining us. And I'm glad to see, because we did celebrate their accomplishment. There were 2 of them. We had a cake, or the club had a cake at Beach Luxury, and then the 2 disappeared. And then I was wondering, maybe we should stop celebrating DTMs, but I'm glad to see he joined us. And the other one is busy, and we look forward to seeing her at one of our meetings soon. I want to express my gratitude to Toastmaster Muhammad Akhtar. Not only is an active member, but he gives speeches on a regular basis, and that's not easy to do. Even though you have, one may have the material, but sometimes you don't just feel like, oh, I don't want to give my speech today. But you look at the agenda, and you have to look at the date to make sure that it's the new agenda, because your name is always there. And also, DTM Talha is also, even though he was serving as a T-Mod or Toastmaster of the Day, not on the agenda to speak, but he's also one of the regulars, which means DTM Talha has several back pocket speeches. There's in Toastmasters, they always have a back pocket speech, meaning, last minute somebody says, oh, we don't have a speaker, can you speak? And people look around and no one speak. So in your case, DTM Talha, you have several speeches either you have a lot of back pockets or several speeches in the same pocket, but you're always ready to give a speech on, and basically it's just what I like about your speeches is your experiences, what you experienced, what you've gone through in life, and you just take that and make it into a very cohesive speech. Thanks to Wasi Ahmed, he's our club treasurer, and he keeps tracks of what's coming in, what's going out, and that's great. And he also attended the club officer training last Saturday. I want to thank him for joining us. One of not only our officer, but he's one of our active members. And some have left us. Thank you for all those who join us on a regular basis, like Toastmaster Fiza Aziz. And any announcements from an education point of view, DTM Talha, before we close the meeting?
Not in particular. However, there will likely be a makeup club officers training also. So if anyone wants to avail it, and that will perhaps be online. And secondly, again, sign up for the next meeting. Anyone who wants to be Toastmaster of the day or do any roles. Oh yeah, Toastmaster. DTM will be the Toastmaster of the day.
That's good.
For the next meeting, and we'll build the meeting around that. And other than that, and to all the speech contest winners, please get ready, especially the first place and the second place winners, because area contests are pretty close. And as soon as we get a final date, we will announce. So yes, over to you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at the next meeting next week. Until then, Allah Hafiz. May God bless you.
Results.
Oh, results.
Yeah, everyone
sorry.
is a winner. Okay, go ahead. Announce the results. Our
All
vote
right,
counter.
All right. So, best prepared speaker goes to Toastmaster Muhammad Asghar. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Best table topics, due to a paucity of votes, goes to me. I don't mind. I'm taking it. Yeah. Best prepared speech evaluation goes to our distinguished Toastmaster Ghulam Qadir. So KTC is doing all it can to ensure that you keep attending. And I'm sorry that I asked for more votes for best Big Four because it resulted in an ugly situation. But I will give it away to our table topics master, DDM Sarfraz. Congratulations. And our best facilitator award goes to Toastmaster Rafat Mubin as general. So that's pretty much it. Over to you, Mr. President.
Okay. Just looking at the messages, make sure that I didn't miss anything. That's all the votes we have.
Yeah, that's all the
Okay.
votes. Yeah.
Okay. Now the meeting is officially adjourned.